It's time for the case discussion, and this case was the timid board. It revolved around the board that was very reticent towards change. They'd experienced troubles in their credit union in the past, and now that things were ticking along okay, they were really unwilling to make any decision that, in their eyes, was going to rock the boat. The questions posed here were, first of all, what's the major underlying issue? Secondly, is the board justified in its fear of making decisions? Then, is a change in the best interests of the membership? And finally, what actions could the board take to provide themselves sufficient comfort in making the decisions if they elect to do so? So looking at those things individually, first of all, what's the major underlying issue here? Well, a board is a decision-making body. The board functions as the highest level of leadership of the organisation. And receiving a clear message from the CEO that it's time to at least consider change, he's not trying to force change for change's sake. If they are going to ensure future relevance, which if you recall is a common law duty of care, then it becomes a dereliction of that duty of care to ignore the situation. Is the board justified in its fear of making a decision? Well, this brings up the concept of personal liability. A board, again, is a decision-making body. Fear of making a decision in case it turns out to be a wrong decision and therefore incurs personal liability has been known to paralyze boards, and it is absolutely the wrong thing to do. Think about it. If the law states that you're a decision-making body and you then refuse to make decisions, that in itself can create personal liability. Remember, a bad decision, as long as it was made in good faith and as long as it was made with an understanding of all the relevant information, you're not going to create liability if it's the wrong decision. Next topic that it raised was, is a change of direction for the organisation in the best interests of the members? Well, at this point, the board has no idea. They've got to actually explore and do the research that it takes and all the strategy development before they can decide whether such change would be in the best interest of the membership. But it can't be ruled out at day one. And finally, what actions could the board take to provide themselves a bit of comfort in making those decisions? Well, the first thing they could do is make sure that a very professional strategy development process is embarked upon here. And the other thing, that the board is heavily involved in that strategy development process.